They say beauty fades with time, but only if you've never learned how to truly see. Sit down in a quiet cafe or walk through the park on an ordinary day, and you might miss her. She's not loud, not flashy, not trying to be noticed, yet the stillness in her presence makes the noise around her fade. She doesn't ask for attention, she commands it, without a single word. There's something about her energy that unsettles the ungrounded man, yet draws in the one who's begun to understand what truly matters. This is the kind of woman most men overlook when they're young, and quietly admire when they're older. You see, attraction isn't about age. It's about depth. And the truth is, older women often carry a power that youth hasn't yet earned. Clarity, confidence, and a sharpness of mind honed by heartbreak, healing, and years of watching people reveal who they really are. But here's the catch. Most men have never been taught to notice this. We're raised to chase appearance, charm, and approval. We weren't trained to recognize quiet strength. We weren't taught to admire the woman who doesn't need us, but chooses to see us. This video isn't just about women. It's about you. Your ability to perceive what others miss, to slow down long enough to see where real value lives, and to ask yourself a different question. Not how do I impress her, but am I ready for a woman who doesn't play games because she's already lived through them? So stay with me, because what follows are not just facts, they are signals, psychological traits of older women that few men ever truly understand. And once you do, you'll never see attraction the same way again. You'll realize that the most powerful woman in the room isn't the one who turns heads. It's the one who quietly turns the tide of the room's energy, with presence, not performance. And if you can recognize her, you just might be the kind of man she's been waiting for. 10 Stoic lessons hidden in older women's psychology. Number 1. Emotional mastery isn't taught, it's earned. Older women don't just feel, they understand what they're feeling, and more importantly, they know why. They've learned, through seasons of betrayal and beauty, that emotional reactivity solves little. Instead, they've cultivated emotional poise. A Stoic man can see this not as moodiness or mystery, but as discipline in disguise, the kind of woman who won't erupt in chaos, but who also won't ignore her truth. She's weathered her storms and she doesn't need yours to feel alive. Number 2, confidence replaces compliance. Where younger women may have softened their tone to be liked, older women have no such need. They've stopped apologizing for taking up space. They know what they want, and they're not afraid to say no. It's not arrogance, it's self-respect. And for the man rooted in his own principles, this kind of clarity is refreshing. It's not a challenge to your masculinity, it's an invitation to rise. Number 3. Love without the illusion. She doesn't fall for fantasy. Romance for her isn't fireworks, it's firewood. Something that sustains, not just burns bright for a night. She's not looking for someone to complete her. She's watching for someone who can meet her where she's already whole. If you mistake her emotional independence for distance, you're not ready. But if you're a man who values substance over spectacle, you'll see she's offering something real. Number 4. Freedom is her default. She doesn't need permission to live boldly. Older women often come with financial independence, emotional maturity, and a clear sense of direction. She has plans, dreams, and maybe even a passport full of stamps. And if she lets you in, it's not because she needs you, it's because she chooses you. That, my friend, is rare, and it should be earned. Number 5. She has no fear of no. Rejection doesn't scare her, it refines her focus. She doesn't chase, because she's learned that anything worth having won't need to be forced. Her grace in walking away isn't detachment, it's discernment. She doesn't beg for affection, she invites presence. And if you're grounded enough, you'll feel it, a silent power that only those who've lost, healed, and come back stronger can carry. Number 6. Her intuition isn't a feeling, it's a force. You can't fake it with her, she'll know, before you even finish your sentence. Call it instinct. Call it pattern recognition. Call it years of watching men speak one thing and act another. Her intuition is a finely tuned radar for truth. Don't fear it, honor it. Because if she sees through you and still stays, then what she sees is something real. Number 7. She prioritizes time over pretense. She has no interest in the performance of perfection. She values your presence over your presentation. And she values her own time like a Stoic values his breath. Guarded, intentional, and not to be wasted on superficiality. If she shows up in sweatpants to your second date, don't mistake it for laziness. It's a test. Can you see what matters, even when it's not wrapped in glamour? Number 8. She's at peace with desire. Desire no longer embarrasses her, it empowers her. She knows her body, her wants, her boundaries, and she isn't afraid to speak of them. This self-awareness isn't intimidating to the right man, it's liberating. In her presence, you're not playing games. You're participating in honesty. And that's where intimacy is no longer performance, but connection. Number 9. Pain didn't break her, it built her. She's been through it, betrayal, loss, reinvention. But it didn't harden her, it refined her. She may carry scars, but they're not wounds anymore. They're reminders of how far she's come. A Stoic man doesn't run from this, he respects it. Because he knows that the most valuable people are those who've endured and chosen not to become bitter. Number 10. She seeks truth, not perfection. If you're pretending, performing, posturing, she'll walk. Not because she's harsh, but because she's done playing roles. She's not looking for a fantasy. She's looking for a man who is real, present, honest, stoic. And if that's you, if your stillness is stronger than your need for approval, then you may just be the kind of man she's been waiting for all along. Are you the kind of man that a woman like this would choose? It's easy to admire a woman like this from a distance, her calm, her confidence, her quiet intensity. She doesn't try to impress, yet she holds the room. She doesn't need you, but somehow makes you want to rise into the kind of man who could stand beside her with dignity. The question is not whether she's impressive, it's whether you are ready. This isn't about charm or lines or calculated moves. A woman of this depth cannot be seduced by surface. She's met that version of you before. The version that leads with ego, the version that hides behind success or humor or bravado, and she's walked away without hesitation. Because what she wants is not a man who performs, but a man who is present. So, ask yourself, are you still seeking validation, or have you become rooted in self-respect? Do you need to be admired to feel enough, or are you enough whether she's watching or not? Because she will notice. She'll see the way you handle silence, the way you treat the waiter, the way you respond when things don't go your way. These small things aren't small to her. They are signals of character, of presence, of whether you're truly grounded or still looking for ground. A Stoic man doesn't chase. He doesn't impress. He embodies. And that embodiment speaks louder than any words could. He doesn't fear being alone. He values solitude as the place where clarity is born. He doesn't resist emotions, but he doesn't let them rule his actions. He listens more than he speaks, and when he does speak, his words carry weight, not because they're loud, but because they're true. The older woman, the wise woman, the one who has seen the world burn and still chooses to build something beautiful, she is not waiting to be saved. She is observing, she is discerning. And if she opens her heart to you, it's not because you convinced her, it's because you've become the kind of man she can trust in silence. Not to rescue her, but to walk beside her with strength, with grace, and with unwavering presence. So no, the question isn't whether she desires you. The real question is, have you done the inner work to become the kind of man who is worthy of her choosing? Not because of what you offer her, but because of what you've cultivated within yourself. And if not, start now. Because when a woman of depth meets a man of depth, they don't create sparks, they build fire, quiet, steady, and enduring. The most powerful kind of attraction is never loud. It doesn't chase attention, and it doesn't need applause. It lives in the quiet confidence of someone who has faced life, been humbled by it, and chosen to grow anyway. That's the magnetism of maturity, the kind that doesn't fade with time, but deepens. Older women, with their wisdom, their clarity, and their resilience, don't just ask for more, they inspire more. Not with demands, but by example. They invite you to meet them, not with performance, but with presence. Not with promises, but with consistency. And they'll never need to say it out loud. You'll feel it in the way they move, in what they tolerate, and what they quietly walk away from. So, here's the challenge. Instead of asking how to attract her, ask who you are becoming. Are you building a life grounded in integrity, stillness, and purpose? Or are you just filling silence with noise? In the end, the Stoic path is not about being admired, it's about being aligned with truth, with depth, with something greater than the moment. If that speaks to you, if you're ready to rise into the man who doesn't chase but draws, then you're exactly where you need to be. Subscribe to Ultimate Stoicism and walk with us. Your quiet evolution has just begun.